Good afternoon, and thank you for joining the introduction and overview of Proven Accounting. Today, we are going to go over the new interface, search capabilities, toggling between different modules, drilling down into records, changes in the job info screen, sync time and email capabilities, customizable widgets, and then the process for transitioning to Proven Accounting. We will first start with the new interface. For current PSA users, this screen will look very familiar to you. This is what you see right when you log in. The new dashboard will look like this. Let's go to the live database. Once you're in the system, you have an option to click on the left-hand side of these squares to see a dashboard, or to open up the menu, you simply click on an icon. We can then see sales, receivables, purchases, payables, so on and so forth. Going back to the dashboard, we can see that this is very customizable. If you do not work in accounts receivable, you may not want to see the receivable module here or the invoice module. Same goes for accounting. If you are not an accountant and you only work in receivables, accounts receivable, you may not want to see expenses or chart of accounts. We also have a reminder widget set up, and we have some customizable widgets based on proven analytics. Zooming in to the voucher and invoice widget, you can see we have the amount paid and unpaid of vouchers. Same goes for invoices, posted and unposted. You can also have a date filter. You can have month, quarter, year, or last year, or you can simply remove the widget. Here's an example of proven analytics widgets. I asked the system to query a report that gives me the revenue based on project manager. On the left-hand side, you will see the table it produced, and on the right-hand side, you will see the bar graph that it also produced. If you want to see the chart of accounts at a glance, we have chart of accounts widgets. We can show you the current value of assets all the way to the current value of your other income accounts. Now we will review the invoicing screen. Again, for current PSA users, this first screen is very, very familiar to you. Here's what the new invoicing screen will look like. It has the same information. It is laid out just a little bit differently, but it has the same information and same functionality. The receivable screen also looks similar to the old platform. Again, same functionality. Now we will review the job lookup and job info screen. This is the job lookup screen in the current platform, and this is what it looks like in the new platform. Looks very similar, same functionality. In the current platform, you'll see you have customer ID, job name, job number, job name, and job type reading from top to bottom. Also, your dates are reading from top to bottom: lost date, claim date, receive date. In the new platform, they read left to right. We have customer ID, job number, job name, and then also your dates: lost date, claim date, contacted date, inspected date. Same information, just laid out a little bit differently. Next, we are going to go over search capabilities and toggling between screens. We will transition to the live database to review how this works. I'm going to create a few transactions. The first transaction I'm going to create is an invoice. So we will click New Record. We need to then find a customer. Previously, when researching a customer, you had to enter in the information as it exactly appears as in the customer ID or in the name. The new search capability will give you the opportunity to search for a customer ID based on something other than the name. So in this example, we're going to look for Aaron Wells, but I only know the address. So we're going to do 8205, and it pulls up Aaron Wells. Once we select Aaron Wells, some information will be populated. Some information we will need to select and fill out. Once we have filled out the top portion, we're going to click Add New Line Item. We are then going to select a job. Again, we have the same type of functionality here. I want to look at the customer ID, so let's contains. We're going to do Wells. And here's Aaron's job. We're going to select. Once we have selected the job, we could then enter the details. Put in a sales price. We can double check our taxes. We still have the capability of changing them in the middle of creating an invoice. And then once you are finished, you can click Final Invoice for Job, go to Actions, and click Post. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you see that this item has been posted. Let's go create a voucher. We are going to create a voucher for Avengers Construction. And again, just like the other screens, we click toggle the filter, we click contains, we can type in construction, and everything with the word construction will pull up, even though it doesn't start with that. And then we click select. We're going to add a new line item. I'm going to select our job. It still prompts us for a category and a selector. Once you enter a job, it will automatically change to the WIP account ID. We're going to enter in some information. Enter in an amount. And then we will click Post. Once again, when the voucher is posted, you can see a posted notification. Now to pay a payable, you go into the payable screen and you can research just like you would in the old platform. Let's look for Avengers Construction. Here's the one we created today. We're going to enter in a check number. And we're going to click Actions and then Post. This will give you a warning that the starting check number already exists for the selected bank account and that you cannot post a check with a duplicate number. So for our demonstration purposes, I'm just going to add a few digits and then click Post. It says total 1 post action completed. Do you want to print the checks? For this demonstration, I'm going to say no. And that payable has been paid. Now, if I realize that I needed to increase my invoice or do something additional, I can either use these buttons up here to toggle back to the invoices screen. Here's our invoice details. We do actions, unpost. It says, are you sure you want to continue? You say yes. We will change this amount to $750. And then we will post this item again. And we have a posted notification. Let's say that once we are done with this, we'd like to go pay it. We go into the receivable screen, and it'll show us all of the open receivables that we have. If we notice that an amount is wrong in this screen, we do not have to leave this screen, edit the amount, and then come back. You can simply click on the invoice number. It will then open up the existing invoice, and then you can make your changes, save, and then click Close. and it will bring you right back to this screen with the updated information. Now we are going to review some customizable widgets. Let's go down to Analytics. Analytics will save previously created reports. It will also allow you to create reports on the fly. Let's go to this WIP report. We notice that this WIP report has a lot of information. I'm going to click this button up here that says Report View. As you can see, this has some of our information from our previous widgets. I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to click Start. Let's find our project manager. We're also going to use the revenue. And we're going to do total cost. I want to know how much revenue and cost per PM we are bringing in. So we're going to do a sum of the revenue and a sum of the cost. And then this is our solid one. We're not going to change the PM. Let's enter a report name, PM revenue, and then we're going to click Create. This will populate the information on the right-hand side, and then we can create a widget. We can do a pie chart, a bar chart, or a pivot table. We're going to do a bar chart. It asks us how we would like to select our series. I'm going to leave this the same and click Create Chart. This then shows us the revenue and the total cost per project manager. If we want to add this to the dashboard, we can click Tools, Add Dashboard. You can also click this Tools and add Widget Dashboard to add the details. If we go back to the dashboard, you can see that both of those items have been entered. A few items to mention. Once you transition to the online accounting, the sync time between the accounting platform and proven jobs will be minimal. It is almost immediate when the information updates, since they are both in an online platform. Also, we plan on having future integrations with different payroll platforms and also different types of payment processing companies to help facilitate receivables but also payables. This is the current process that we have outlined to transition to proven accounting once the accounting platform has been officially released. You will send an email to support asking to start the process. You will be assigned to a conversion specialist and a trainer. The scheduling coordinator will send a schedule that needs to be approved. Once approved, we will start the conversion of data. And then we will move forward with training. The conversion specialist will download the data from the existing accounting platform. You will not be able to enter any items during this transition. The conversion specialist will then import your existing data into proven accounting. A trainer will verify everything matches to the existing platform, and then we will schedule training. This is the process to date. If anything changes during this process, you'll certainly be updated. And more information will be coming out soon. Before we get to questions, let's review some feedback that we got from the user conference. Some requested integrations are to include Search Express, Concur, Bill.com, Hardpoint, and Podium. The majority of these have to do with taking payments. Some of them have to do with applying payments, and then again, Search Express is about approvals. Another request was to have a tab option, to have multiple tabs for AP and AR. Currently in PSA, you can have an AP tab and an AR tab and toggle between the two. In the new platform, that is a little bit of a limitation. However, you can toggle back to AR or AP. You just can't have both open. So the request is to have a multiple tab option. Another request was to upload a CSV report into PSA. Currently, you can do that in credit cards. However, you cannot do that in make withdrawals. So that was another request. And then another one was upload journals into PSA non-payroll related. So most companies have a payroll export come from their payroll company. Some companies do not. They have to manually data enter that payroll journal. So instead of having to enter it again as a journal entry into PSA, the request was to have a CSV upload into the general journal section. Schedule auto run on saved reports. We are looking at including this in the proven analytics portion where customized reports can be automatically sent. And then this goes back to some of the integrations. Want to take payments with proven on site. So if you are in front of your customer, you have the option to tap into your payment processing company and then take payments. This option could be outside as a third-party vendor. However, the request was to have that built into the app. And then also the last request is automatic log notes when a payment is made. Currently, you can have an automatic note entered or a notification sent when a paid date is entered, but this request was specific to the payment being applied to the invoice, not necessarily specific to the paid date. So this would be an accounting function where once the invoice has been recorded as paid in full, the note section, or excuse me, an automatic note would be entered into PSA. Thank you so much for joining our session today. If there are any questions, please enter them in the chat box, or you may unmute yourself and ask your question.